Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, boys and girls. Welcome back to another new class of distance learning program. My dear students, today again we will be solving few more quadratic equations, and today we will be learning one new method of solving quadratic equations, that is by using quadratic formula. So let's start our regular lesson. My dear students, boys and girls, as you all know, my name is Sayyid Faraz Hassan. I am your mathematics instructor. With me, I have my team, the team of subject specialists, Sir Ashraf Ali and Miss Shabana Salman. So, my dear students, this is chapter number 1 of your Maths Book 3, Quadratic Equations and Functions. So, my dear students, you all know what are the housekeeping announcements. Our learning objective for today: by the end of this lesson, you will be able to solve quadratic equations in one variable by using completing the square method and quadratic formula. Let's have a quick recap what we have learned earlier. We have solved quadratic equations by completing the square method, and here are the important steps which are used to solve quadratic equations by completing the square method. Step number 1: take the coefficient of x, divide that coefficient of x by 2, square it, and then finally add and subtract it from the given equation. So dear students, there are 4 steps. Step number 1: take the coefficient of x. Number 2: divide that coefficient of x by 2. Step number 3: after simplifying it, square it, and then finally add and subtract it from the given equation. So let's do some questions. This is again exercise 1A of your school textbook. Question number 5. Solve each of the following equations. Now, we will be solving this by completing the square method. Now, we can see that we have x multiplied by x minus 3 equals to 5x plus 1. Okay, just one important thing before applying any method. Make sure you should have equals to 0 on the right hand side. It means that you need to bring all the numbers, whether variable or constant, from the right hand side to the left hand side. Simplify the bracket, make it equal to 0, and then apply any one method which is applicable. So let's open up the brackets. So the first thing, we're going to open the bracket. X multiplied by x, it makes x square. X multiplied by 3, negative 3x, equals 5x plus 1. Now, as I told you, we need to make it equal to 0. So we need to bring 5x plus 1 on this side. So let's bring it on this side. X square minus 3x minus 5x minus 1 equals to 0. We can simplify the like numbers. So we have x squared minus 8x minus 1 equals to 0. So as we can see that we have x squared negative 8x negative 1 equals to 0. We cannot apply factoring method. We cannot apply taking square root method. So we need to go for another method that is completing the square method. What do we need in this? We need coefficient of x. What's the coefficient of x? It's 8. Divided by 2, simplify it, you get the answer 4. Square it, and then finally add and subtract it. Right? So let's do it. I'm going to add and subtract over here. Can you see my arrow? Right over here. So let's do it. X squared negative 8x. Then I'm going to add plus 4 squared minus 4 squared minus 1 equals to 0. Now this will make a perfect square over here. So we have x minus 4 the whole square, and negative 4 square means negative 16 negative 1 equals 0. So we have now x minus 4 the whole square equals to negative 16 Negative 1 makes negative 17. When it moves on the other side, it becomes positive 17. Now we will take square roots on the two sides. So take square root on the two sides. Now remember, I told you that whenever you take a square root, you need to put a plus sign and a minus sign on your own. So let's do it. Now we'll simplify the bracket. X square, the root with the square. Now you can use your calculator. Square root 17. So please use your calculator, find the value of square root 17, as 17 is not a perfect square, so you need to use your calculator, and your answer is found to be x minus 4 equals to plus minus 4.12. After this, you want to make two brackets. In the first bracket, you're going to write positive 4.12, and in the next bracket you're going to write negative 4.12. So x minus 4 equals positive 4.12, and in this bracket x minus 4 equals negative 4.12. So boys and girls, you need to evaluate, find out the value of x when negative 4 moves on the other side, become positive 4. Positive 4 plus 4.12. So your first answer is found to be x equals to 8.12. That's your first answer, and your next answer is found to be x equals to negative 4.12 plus 4, that is negative 0.12. That's your next answer. This is your answer, and this is your answer. X equals to 8.12 and x equals to negative 0.12. Let's move on to the next part. Part C, x plus 2 multiplied by x minus 5 equals to 4x. Again, you need to simplify the two brackets. You need to bring 4x on this side, and then you'll see what is the way to solve it. So let's multiply the two bracket. X multiplied by x, it makes x squared. X multiplied by minus 5, it makes minus 5x. Then we have 2 multiplied by x is positive 2x. Then the same 2 multiplied by negative 5 makes negative 10. Bring this 4x on this side. So we have minus 4x equals 0. Now we're going to simplify it by adding up the like terms. Negative 5x, negative 4x becomes negative 9x. Negative 9x, positive 2x, it becomes negative 7x. Then we have negative 10 equals 0. Again, we'll be applying the same method called completing the square method. All right, so let's do it. Take the coefficient of x, it's 7. So take the coefficient of x, it's 7 divided by 2, square it, and then add and subtract. All right, dear students, so x squared negative 7x, then plus 7 upon 2 whole square minus 7 upon 2 whole square, negative 10 equals 0. So the first three terms, x squared, negative 7x, negative 10, negative 7 up, sorry, x squared, negative 7x, and plus 7 upon 2, the whole square. This makes an identity, and x minus 7 upon 2, the whole square. Can you see this? Now, open up the other bracket. 7 sevens are 49, 2 twos are 4, negative 10 equals 0. You could shift it on this other side. X minus 7 upon 2, the whole square, equals 49 upon 4, positive 10. We can simplify it 49 upon 4 plus 10 by taking the LCM on this side. So it's basically 10 upon 1. This is just for your understanding. So we have 4 tens of 40. 40 plus 49 makes 89 upon 4. Okay. Whereas on the left hand side we have x minus 7 upon 2 the whole square. So dear students, what can we do? We can apply the method taking square root methods on the two sides. So let's do it. Square root on this side, square root on this side. Remember, we need to put a plus and a minus sign on our own. Now again, square and square root it cancelled out. So we have x minus 7 upon 2 equals plus minus. Now calculator is allowed for you guys. 89 divided by 4, take the square root on it. Your answer is found to be 4.72. So you have x minus 7 upon 2 makes 3.5 equals plus minus 4.72. Now, after this, what you need to do, underneath this, I have short of space. I'm writing it here. You're going to make two columns. In the first column, you're going to write down positive 4.72, and in the next column, you want to write negative 4.72. So your answer is found to be x equals uh, positive 4.72 and then add 3.5 with this. So your first answer is found to be 4.72 plus 3.5, it's 8.22, right? Likewise, the second column, we need to write down negative 4.72 over here. So we have x equals to negative 4.72 and positive 3.5. So let's simplify this, and finally we get the answer negative 4.72 plus 3.5. We can use our calculator, negative 1.22, negative 1.22. So this is your answer, and this is your answer. X equals to 8.22 and x equals to negative 1.22. So this was the method, boys and girls, called completing the square method. I hope you have learned the concept and your concepts are all clear by now. Okay, now the next thing, the next objective for today, we will be solving quadratic equations by using quadratic formula. Now, what is a quadratic formula? It's written in front of you guys on the screen. X equals to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac whole upon 2a. I'm repeating it once again. X equals to minus b plus minus b square under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Now the question is, what is b, what is a, and what is c in this formula? So to understand this, we need to have a general form of quadratic equation, that is, we know that is I can express as ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. This is the general form of the quadratic equation. Now we can see that ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. The coefficient of x square is a, the coefficient of b is, the coefficient of x is b, and the last term is a constant. Okay, so if we have any, let's have an example. Now look at this. Solve, this is exercise 1b, question number 1. Solve each of the following equations. Part A, x squared plus 4x plus 1. Let's compare this equation with the general form I've given you, ax squared plus bx plus c. I'm writing it here. Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Now compare the two. The coefficient of x square is a and the coefficient of x square is 1. So it means that we have a is equals to 1. Coefficient of x is b. Over here, the coefficient of x is 4. It means the value of b is 4. And the last term, constant c. The value of constant c in our given equation is 1. So c is equals to 1. What we are asked to solve this by using quadratic equation. What is the quadratic equation? So it is x equals to quadratic formula. To solve this quadratic equation, x equals to negative b plus minus under root b squared minus 4ac whole upon 2a. Alright, boys and girls, you need to memorize this formula. X equals to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Now finally, we need to plug in the values of a, b and c in this formula. So let's do it. We have the value of a as 1, the value of b as 4, value of c as 1. So let's do it. Make sure you use a bracket to plug in these values. Negative, the value of b is 4, plus minus square root sign b square. So it is 4 squared minus 4. The value of a is 1 and the value of c is also 1. Okay, it's whole upon 2 multiplied by 1. Furthermore, open up the bracket, negative 4 plus minus under root. 4 square is 16 minus 4 multiplied by 1 is 4 whole upon 2 ones are 2. What we are doing, we are solving this quadratic equation by using quadratic formula. So finally we have, boys and girls, x equals to negative 4 plus minus under root 16 minus 4 is 12, negative 4 plus minus 16 minus 4 is 12, so we have under root 12 whole upon 2. Now one more important thing, as 12 is not a perfect square, we need to use our calculator to evaluate the value of root 12. So please make sure you use your scientific calculator. Negative 4 plus minus, the calculator gives you the correct answer of under root 12 as 3.46 whole upon 2. Now after this, you'll continue this in the same way as we have been doing it earlier. We're going to make two columns. In the first column, we're going to write positive 3.46, and in the next column, we're going to write negative 3.46. So let's do it here. Or I can do, okay, so x equals to negative 4 and positive 3.46 whole upon 2. Your calculator will give you the answer negative 4 plus 3.46 upon 2. So your answer is found to be 0.27. Okay, now it's basically, if I'm going to short of space, I'm writing it here, x equals to negative 0.27. That's the first answer. Correct to two decimal places. Negative 4 plus 3.46. Okay, you get the result of as negative 1.46 divided by 2. Finally, you get your answer negative 0.27. You are allowed to use your calculator. Make sure you use it. Okay, after this, either or x equals to negative 4, and then we have negative 3.46. So whole upon 2, we have finally x equals to negative 7.46 divided by 2. So finally we get again negative 3.73. This is another answer. So this is the first answer, negative 0.27. The second answer is negative 3.73. Both answers are corrected to two decimal places. So boys and girls, this is the end of our lesson for today. I hope you have learned the concept. We're going to continue the same method of solving quadratic equations by using this quadratic formula again in our tomorrow's lesson. Stay tuned. So what did we learn today? We learned today how to solve quadratic equations by completing the square method and by using quadratic formula. What is the quadratic formula? X equals to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac whole upon 2a. ठीक है, just read it 3 times, write it 2 times. So hopefully in a minute you're going to learn. You will be you will memorize it for sure. Okay, so thank you guys. Always be thankful to Almighty Allah for all His blessings. Attempt the homework right after this lesson for a better understanding. I hope your respective teachers are giving you sufficient homework and you guys are in proper practice. So leave a response. Have a nice day. Take care. Allah Hafiz.